4 people are dead after a small plane crash in a wooded area outside of Eddyville, Kentucky. News Channel 5's Matthew Torres is on the scene. And Matthew, there was a young survivor of this plane crash. Tell us what she was amazingly able to do after the crash.
Yeah, Jennifer, authorities are still amazed this morning knowing that this girl was able to survive after this plane crash. Now, imagine being 7 years old, being involved in this crash, realizing your parents are dead, and the only way to survive is having to climb out of the debris. And this morning, as you can see, we have officials making their way as they are about to enter the crash site. But as you can also see the terrain that she had to walk in order to survive and get help. That is tall trees, a lot of brush in the pitch dark. Kentucky State Police said the family flew in a small Piper PA-34 and was coming from Florida and heading to Mount Vernon, Illinois. The FAA said they were planning to land at a nearby airport but lost contact with air traffic controllers after reporting engine troubles, and that aircraft crashed in, again, a very wooded area here on South 810th near the Suwannee community. That 7-year-old girl walked out of the woods with no shoes and for almost 30 minutes was looking for help, and she did with the help of Larry Wilkins, who said he opened the door to find her covered in blood and crying.
Quite a feat for a 7-year-old kid, I'll tell you that. And when she told me, she said, Mom and Dad are dead. We had a plane crash and the plane's upside down.
And on board the plane were her parents, Marty and Kimberly Gutzler, as well as her 9-year-old sister, Piper, and 14-year-old cousin, Sierra Wilder. They're from Nashville, Illinois, and not Nashville, Tennessee. The girl was treated for non-life-threatening injuries and was sent to the local hospital. As you can see, they are ready to enter the crash site as the investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board are heading this way. We'll provide more updates as soon as we get them. For now, we're reporting live from Lyon County, Kentucky. I'm Matthew Torres, News Channel 5 HD.
Many here in Music City are mourning the loss this morning of the longest-running member of the Grand Ole Opry, little Jimmy Dickens. Died yesterday afternoon at a hospital here in Nashville from a heart attack after suffering a stroke on Christmas Day. He was 94. News of his death spread quickly last night, and tributes have been pouring in from country music legends and fans alike. It was an especially emotional night at the Ryman Auditorium during the Opry at the Ryman show last night. Almost every performer that took the stage took a moment to share a story or memory of Dickens. Many were visibly upset. Then just blocks away at the Ernest Tubb Record Shop on Broadway, employees told us they plan to honor him by putting his picture and a candle in the front window. Everyone seems to agree that he was a one-of-a-kind entertainer.
He was the Opry. I mean, he's been there forever. He's the longest running member there is. And he and Mr. Tubb were great friends, did a lot of shows together. So just sad. We've lost an icon.
He just knew how to entertain. He knew how to make people laugh and how to make people cry. He could sing songs, you know, the little doll song that he had, you know, that just would break people's hearts when he would sing it. It was amazing.
I told the audience, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, the angels rejoice at the death of the saints. And like I said, I don't know whether he's a saint, but he's a pretty good old boy. You have to celebrate. Yes, we're sad, but we're sad with a smile on our face.
Country music stars also took to social media to remember their friend, including Alan Jackson, who tweeted this picture of himself with Dickens and George Jones, adding the message, "We know y'all are picking and grinning in heaven tonight. Rest in peace, little Jimmy Dickens." Funeral arrangements have not been announced yet, but a public visitation and public service are being planned. If it seems everyone you know has or has had the flu recently, there is a reason Tennessee has been hit especially hard this year. The Walgreens Flu Index measures the number of flu cases across the country, and their latest index shows this area is one of the worst. Chattanooga, Knoxville, Nashville, and Paducah all made it in the top 10.
You know, Christmas mixed people up all over the country. It helped disseminate flu, and so we've been spreading flu over the holidays to each other with our intimacies, our welcomes, and our hospitality.
Doctors say if you would like to protect yourself and prevent the flu, it's still a good idea to get the shot and practice good hygiene. A Cheatham County teenager is being hailed as a hero for saving a woman's life after watching her boyfriend run over her. 18-year-old Caleb Martin was driving home from work along Sam's Creek Road in Pegram Thursday night when he saw a man swerve and hit a woman, slamming her into the guardrail. Martin called 911, drove the woman to his grandparents' house, and used rags to stop the bleeding from a gunshot wound until help could arrive. Investigators say the woman's boyfriend, 67-year-old Kenneth Clinton of Pegram, then drove to Newsom's Mill Park in Bellevue and took his own life. Martin, though, says he doesn't see himself as a hero, but rather someone who had a chance to save a life.
I'm glad that I was able to help her, because I'd redo it over again if I had to. And I couldn't just leave someone out there.
The woman, who is in her late 20s, remains in the hospital this morning in serious condition. A Springfield man who was severely burned in a fire Thursday afternoon has now died from his injuries. This is video from the scene shot by the Smoky Barn News. Investigators say 76-year-old Eddie Chapman was working in his garage when something ignited a propane heater nearby, and Chapman was quickly engulfed in flames. Witnesses told officers they saw him run from the garage on fire. He ran to a nearby carport, which is where fire crews found him.
But if I could trade places right now, I wish I could. I really wish I could.
Fire investigators are still trying to determine what kind of fluid Chapman was working with when the fire started.